So last time I ended screwing around with my settings, they didn't reset. Now I have a ridiculously large reticule. So let's see, let's try to unlock some more deaths, endings, both.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell
Oh wait,
under
did I
his
already do this one?
responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to
Just
wait.
chill.
Nothing will hurt me.
Yeah.
Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the
No
one
idea.
thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
I think that was it. Yeah, alright. I don't think I got that one before. Alright, back to it. All my balloons. When they say happy 12th birthday, Stanley.
And if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Hey, different dialogue, I think. Hold on. Also, want all my... I'm sliding everything. No, don't invert that. See, all the sliders are done. And yet, nothing. I don't get it, but we're not inverting. Invert Y. Oh! Wait. Oh, whoa. No, 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 no. Let's run that back. Okay. I think that one was a little different. Yeah, okay, so more computers are lit up this time. Huh. Click. I want to get back there. I thought this one used to be lit up. Nope, now that one.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Oh, the bucket! Okay, hold on, let's go back. Okay. Where's that one that says input? Is it through here? One more? Wait, no, I missed it. Is it because I have the... What is... Hold on. Did I miss something here? Might have... Huh, okay. Yeah, I thought this one of these was supposed to be the input. Or new content.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, right.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now.
Okay, so
more
different
than ever.
dialogue, nice.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Oh. Oh. My broom
Stanley,
closet.
can you feel it?
I love
The
it. It's
broom
bigger.
closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as
No.
clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
Can
It's
I
a
give it the bucket?
It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
Yeah, but it's my bucket.
Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your
It
shoulders
really
right
is.
now.
This
that
is
you
a
have to be
bigger broom
strong.
closet, I think.
This is your bucket. This is
Feels
your
bigger.
companion
That's what she
and
said.
lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley,
I kind of
never
want to...
liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons.
But
even
I
this is
can't.
worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly
No,
deep
this
and
is my
lasting
bucket.
friends.
Fuck you.
That your relationship is pure. Coming to a staircase,
Nope.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
So I'll follow him along the whole time. I'll see what he wants me to do. I'll see it through.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley
Oh!
was once again
Wait!
stunned.
Hold on. Because that's their net. Oh, did I interrupt him? Can I go in here? Oh, I can go in here. I couldn't go in here before. Oh, yeah, I could. But now I'm locked out. Huh. Interesting. Well, now that I got that input, can I go back? Hold on. How far back can I go? I think that's it, because this was the... Nope, can't go back through. Alright. So I'm forced to continue here. My big old bucket. So wait, can I not carry on anymore here? Can't do anything with that. Can't. All right, so I gotta go back. Wait, I can't do anything. Did I get locked out? I think I got locked out. Yeah, I'm locked out. I gotta start over. Alright. Damn. Does that save that input, though? Hey. Oh, that's another input. Hey, I didn't get any dialogue to start this cycle.
Hello. Oh. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages.
Okay.
Anytime you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Okay. Interesting. There's the bucket again. I'm gonna hold off on the bucket. Make sure there's no other... Because I don't think I got all the non-bucket endings. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
oh, damn it.
He
Hold
entered
on.
the door on his left.
That's right. Hold on, BRB. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're back. Alright, left door.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh!
You found one of them.
Hell yeah!
Miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
That's what I'm here for.
That sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Dope. This was infinite before. Yeah, you don't actually go anywhere. Okay. Business a strategy. Or business a strategy. Shoot the panda. Take them in here and fake it again.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the key.
Oh. That's weird. What's it doing that for? Alright, so I can't retreat. This did open again. Can I go down this time? Or is that going to be closed again too? Yep. Alright, so hold on. Before I reset, let me try one more. Oh no, I can't. Okay. So now I gotta reset.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe he did. See, this is definitely a different hallway to get here. This is not the same as before. Wait. Don't just run through, I gotta check the computers.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Nope, nobody anywhere.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Ooh, Figure Finders Committee. Alright. Nothing more in here. I don't know how I'm getting to here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, he did. Oh. Oh! This is new. No memo. Yeah, who took the pictures? No, there won't. Oh, shit. Okay. Let's mark. Hold on. Okay. So they got tips. Was one of them in the bathroom? Yep. I got 1 and 6. Stop showing. Okay. Stairs, red and blue, fireplace. Okay. Let's do it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Just go. Oh! He just made me skip it because I was going to do it anyway. That's funny. Alright. Oh!
Another miniature
Hell
Stanley
yeah.
figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
So what area is this? A large room, lots of boxes, stairs, red and blue, nearby a fireplace. Maybe nearby a fireplace, I think. Alright, down we go. Red and blue. Near the cops. TF2. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So he went down here before, but I think that was its own dead end. See if there's different shit to do. I'll try that a different time. Can I do something different in here?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Definitely already been here. Oh! Whoop! Oh! I'm not
Aha!
dead?
You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome.
Okay.
You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours.
So here you are.
Here you go.
Oh, here you go, not here you
New
are.
Content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content?
New ways to
Always
die.
More content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you.
Give
I'm
it.
here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game.
Give it.
With secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Play it. I did it.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility.
I want the lights to come on and maybe stuck down here with some fucked up creature. And then just reset.
Careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams.
And they really did a full track.
Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Do I have to reset? Nope. Alright, so let's... Alright, so now I'm going to grab the bucket and go to the bottom of the stairs, where I know that's an end loop.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Do you think I stayed in the room when I closed the door?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his
Yes.
arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Huh?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
It does.
You
It
can feel
can't
that,
have
can't
it.
you? The aura of coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Did they?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his
Oh,
boss,
what?
admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that.
Okay.
In such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley.
He's got the bucket.
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these.
Not this
He
time.
held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
Oh no.
And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal,
Oh,
everyday
shit.
bucket. Someone
Whose
else's
bucket is this?
Perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
Oh,
This
no.
is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
Where'd my
Who
bucket
knows
go?
What sorts of bizarre
I dropped it.
hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
Where'd it go?
Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he
Should
felt
be right
himself
here.
floating off the ground. Oh, gracious!
Oh, I'm floating.
He exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Where?
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket! Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
No.
Come to me, Stanley! Find me! He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old
Shit.
friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled.
Did you try
over
looking into the bucket
and blacked
within? Damn.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh. Did it end the
woke
same?
up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her
Am I gonna be
bucket
on the
of
street
comfort and
again?
security, and walked to her place
Yep.
of work.
Oh, she's got the
But on
bucket
this
though.
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought.
So cruel.
And she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work.
Oh, she's got her job this time.
Would provide absolute guidance.
Before
and
she was
total
going for an
clarity.
interview, I think.
Heck yes, she thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she
Yes.
backflipped all the way to work.
Damn. Alright. So I went down there that time. Let's take the bucket to... Oh! Oh! Yo! What? What? What the hell? Whoa. Oh, it's just buttons. What am I doing though? What do I do here? Why am I auto-rotating? Okay. I don't know what that was. I might have to go back and look and see. That was weird. Oh, is it gonna do it again? Okay. I'll come back to that. I don't know if that's it or if there's more to it. Alright, get my bucket.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. The
Boink.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
How do I get back to the new content?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. Something to do with stairs. Is that... I don't know. Alright, not back down again.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Nah.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
It
Was
did.
the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket knows. Stare into the bucket. Boink.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
Yeah, it is.
Everything will be fine.
Bucket's got my back.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Well, we'll see about that. What's the bucket
The door
got to say?
behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Joink. Come on, bug. Going to see something. Oh. Crunch time.
As the the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Psych!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Psych.
In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Yeah, right.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Ha! Knowledge of the bucket and its history. It's the only true knowledge we really have.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him?
That
Can
is
you
pretty
see
apt.
that the bucket is far more noble than
A
Stanley
bucket with two
will ever
handles.
be in his short life?
Too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Yeah, that's more than 25 buckets. Maybe not. No one can control a bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Bucket and humanity. Okay. I see what's going on there, I think. I like the radiant chants. Nope, dead end. The stress bucket. Alright. Oh, know what we gotta do. I don't wanna. I won't do it. Oh. I didn't know what I had to do.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as
The bucket
commander
shall
of a
take
new
its place.
world, a new vision for...
Oh! Alright, so I wonder if there's a thing for if I do reset. So let's go back to that. And then reset. See if anything changes.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a paint? Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his
Alright,
arms
go,
again,
go.
he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Stanley. Can you feel it?
Yes.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Did he,
Was
though?
it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical
right.
explanation.
Down here through my control. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but we'll see.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Did he?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
They'd meet some shit. It's gonna happen.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
That's what you think. I got a reset button. Doink. Uh-oh. Alright, run this one more time, then I'm done here. Oh no, actually, if it does do different, I gotta come back here without the bucket.
Closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Psych!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Bucket,
It was
bucket,
a shame
bucket,
the death of
bucket.
such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood
especially
above the
so.
rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold. Can you see
Hello.
how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
Yeah, it was
Can
pretty
you see
rough.
the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than no man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
I'm about
It
to.
is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Nope. I'm taking the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only
Can we?
let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander.
Psych. Alright, let's see if that changes anything. It may or may not.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Did I get to the
Stanley
bottom with the
decided to go
bucket
to the
before?
meeting room. Perhaps he had Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone.
Don't recall.
Not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Still got to go through to the end with this. And maybe jump down.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked
I don't know if that'll
upstairs to
change
the
anything.
boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Okay.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, this time I'll actually go to the mind control facility. Yeah, I don't think that changed anything.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
It's true, they did.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Oh, there we go.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark
this is
void
different.
below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which
thank Christ.
cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered.
Yeah, throw the bucket
Stanley
back up.
and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here.
Oh.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really
Oh, hell
wasn't
yeah.
so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps. After some
Ooh.
time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of
How do we do that, though?
that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Paninas.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps
Oh, this is
that
nice.
it really started to feel like a home. In fact,
Hell yeah.
after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control
Let's just watch some
facility.
tube.
He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets,
I'd
and
like
the
to get
state of
back
their
to it.
home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
Oh, no.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket
Shit.
tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail.
It's getting
All
bad.
Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to
Shit.
do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket
Perhaps.
was counting on.
Is that it?
Children
Reset.
waited for a very long time.
Damn. They waited forever.
All of his co-workers were
Alright, give
gone.
me that bucket.
What could it mean?
Now I gotta
Stanley
actually
decided
get to the
go
mind
meeting
control.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hey. Sorry, bud.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another
we going.
thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No. Maybe I have to just interact with a certain thing to get that blue hallway? So every once in a while I'll get the blue hallway.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
How come
Stepping
it
into the
auto-opened
manager's
that one
office,
time?
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes.
This is certainly a logical explanation.
Give him that rope. Still gotta find some, mini stands. Which, since they didn't spawn until I beat the game, they might be in areas that I already visited on this path without the bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked
down
straight
here.
ahead through the large door that read
Probably not, though.
Mind Control Facility.
Alright, so I fell down there, so yeah, now I just gotta get to the
lights
end.
rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Some bad shit. They were surveilling a pirate in one of them.
The
I remember
monitor
seeing
jumped
that.
to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
There he is.
Everyone in the office was being
It's a
videotaped,
pirate.
monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that
It's all right, buddy.
everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Just wants to hold water,
These
bro,
questions
and not
rose
have a hole in it.
furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
The bucket is my
But
only
here was
friend.
the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley
Oh,
and
this is
the
gonna
bucket,
feel bad.
up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
We'll do it next time.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
Bucket, what are you doing, dude?
In horror.
He's under
Had this
control
been
already.
the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket
Shit.
away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly birds.
He just wants to control birds.
The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions.
Okay, I like this
Had he
ending.
done this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happening.
Oh, good. So this was the good ending with the bucket. Aw. So now I gotta turn it off.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand.
Yeah, he
It was
did.
only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Where are we going today? The bucket asked.
Oh, you'll see.
Just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his
Perfectly
chest
fine
and
with him.
entered the door on his left.
Still gonna find a few more.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Sure did.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
Cruising.
luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Going down. Alright, this should be the last stop on the left path for now. I think I've done all the other possible choices. I went through the escape
Stanley and the
both
bucket walked
ways.
straight ahead through
I
the
dropped
large
down
door
both
that
ways.
read,
This will cover this both
Mind
ways.
Control Facility.
Cloink.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Televisions.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Show me.
Monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Non-stop.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as
All
Stanley
day, every
cradled it
day.
gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced
Oh boy.
furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He
Take me
screamed
there.
into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
The heart of the
happy
cards.
Or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Nope.
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
We're taking them
They
out.
high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Schwonk. Yeah. Eh.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil
Hell yeah,
mind
Bucket,
control
we did it.
machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted
What's
to
out
learn
there,
to
though?
roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted
Okay.
to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening?
Uh-oh.
Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
What?
Even the facility itself recognized the
No.
incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
No, it's my bucket.
Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But
Shit.
at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right?
Is he
I'll
gonna
be
drop
okay,
it?
Won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Huh. Jesus. Is that a reset? Or is that more to go? That's a reset, I bet. Yep. Oh, baby. Okay. Well, shit, that's all the left path doors, so... Take a quick break and hit the right. GG, baby. Slow strafe.